How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Gary Gensler just posted about crypto, giving some disclaimers about if you're thinking about buying crypto, here are some things to remember. That's really interesting. I want to talk about why that is and why that is a good sign here in a minute. But before we get started, if you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on that bell notification. The pump is real. The excitement is real. It's so real that I think my video is a little bit grainy. It can't keep up with the excitement. It's jittery too. If you don't mind, while you're hitting subscribe, check out the link down below to Margex, where you can long or short different cryptocurrencies. There's no KYC. There's no VPN that you need to use this platform. All deal indicators are on screen. It's all very simple, easy, an easy layout to understand, and they have really good customer service. If you ever have any questions, you can go to one of these, and then you can go down to a little chat box, and it's super fast to get a response from them. There's also a link to HGAaccess. In case you haven't already signed up for this, this is something I'm doing with about 10 other creators, giving access to information that is nowhere else because we get reached out to all the time by projects we know where money's flowing. So definitely check this out. We've had a 10x gainer over the last week. We've had 30% gainers, 70% gainers. We have a lot of analysts in there, a lot of TA guys, a lot of fundamental guys. There's so much good information. Definitely check out the link underneath the video. And we're also going to run some giveaways here soon to give away some free crypto. So check that out. Now, crypto is pretty interesting right now. Bitcoin's at 45,000. There's a lot of excitement. There's also some people calling for rates to be lowered soon, which excites the crypto market, but that's kind of taking a backseat to what's happening right now. We saw ETF applicants update some forms earlier today giving fee structure. I didn't even talk about this, but Grayscale still has their 1.5% fee, but we have fees all the way down to 0.2%, which is really interesting. Now, we just, over the weekend, got some news from the SEC warning us to say no to FOMO about digital assets. And I covered this in a video, but I talked about how this was a good sign. If they're talking about crypto and being careful in crypto, they're probably going to approve some kind of crypto ETF. Otherwise, they just wouldn't talk about it, or they just say no to crypto or something like that, obviously. Now, Gary Gensler just posted in the last 10 minutes a thread, some things to keep in mind if you're considering investing in crypto assets. And we're going to talk about a couple interesting wallets after this as well, some crypto wallets that are buying Bitcoin. But Gary Gensler says those offering crypto asset investment services may not be complying with applicable law, including federal securities laws. As always, make sure that whatever platform you're using, you're actually allowed to use. Investors in crypto asset securities should understand that they may be deprived of key info and other important protections in connection with their investments. So they always point out that some cryptos are securities, but they don't really make it clear, and they can't even really decide necessarily. It's a joint effort between the SEC and other government organizations to determine what is a security. They haven't given a lot of I think, good information on that. It's not real clear, but we know Bitcoin's not security at this point. But they say you may be deprived of important protections and information. Investments in crypto assets also can be exceptionally risky and are very often volatile. A number of major platforms in crypto assets have become insolvent or lost value. Investments in crypto assets continue to be subject to significant risk. Fraudsters continue to exploit the rising popularity of crypto assets to lure retail investors into scams. These investments continue to be replete with fraud, bogus coin offerings, Ponzi and pyramid schemes, and outright theft, where a project promoter disappears with investors' money. Obviously, we know that all too well after being in the crypto space the last 2 years. Kind of interesting that they are telling us about this now instead of protecting all of us when they were literally having meetings with some of these companies like FTX. So, yeah, I mean, they're here for you, but not really when you need it. They just are trying to stop people from investing how they want at this point. But they are, I want to get to the main point, which is the fact that he's posting about this, which is probably a good sign about ETF approval, right? We continue to hear that we are almost a full-on go for ETFs. Gary Gensler posts about this. The SEC posts about crypto over the weekend. It's very likely that they're just setting the table, making sure they give disclosures, making sure everyone knows their stance ahead of approval. Now, there have been some wallets that have been buying up Bitcoin recently. I want to show this one, which is one of the top 50 wallets. They hold about 17,000 Bitcoin or $790 million consistently buying. I mean, these are all the buys just this year. This is really interesting. They buy like 7, 11, 0.5. And I realize this isn't necessarily buying. This is them transferring Bitcoin into their wallet, but so consistent. They've been adding every single day, 5, 10, 20 times a day. Again, this is all buys in the last week. Most recently, today, they bought 43, or I guess that was yesterday. They sent 43 Bitcoin in there, and then 1.5 Bitcoin, 0.7 Bitcoin, 0.36, 2 Bitcoin, 0.44 Bitcoin, just continuously adding all the time. And I showed this wallet yesterday. This is a really interesting wallet that literally just never sells, just continues to buy, and they buy 5 Bitcoin a day, 10 Bitcoin a day, 20 Bitcoin a day, and they bought again today. They sent the crypto over, 15.67 Bitcoin. Now, some people have been asking me like, okay, you show all these wallets that are getting more Bitcoin. Where are they getting the Bitcoin from? And why isn't the price spiking up? Well, you have to remember, the price moves up when there are more buyers than sellers. Whenever you have a buy, there are a couple different places it can come from. It can come from an exchange. You could do an OTC deal, which is basically just taking it from someone else that's trying to sell it, but it doesn't hit the market. There are different ways to structure it. So it can push up the price or it can not push up the price. Basically, what is important to me is not necessarily that these people are buying and pushing up the price right away. It's that these wallets are accumulating and it's taking it off of exchanges, which means that when someone does go and buy off an exchange, it pushes up the price faster because there's less Bitcoin. There are less people selling their Bitcoin, so there's less to go around, so they have to bid a higher price. So I don't really care how some of these entities are buying. We know MicroStrategy does OTC deals, so that way it doesn't push up the price thousands of dollars, but it still helps in the long run. So yes, there are sellers that are selling, taking profit. I mean, even this wallet, right? This one that's top 50, they do sell sometimes, right? They sell a couple thousand Bitcoin here or there, but generally they have been accumulating pretty consistently. Now, the price going up will be just something that happens as more and more buyers come in, as more and more people hold their crypto because they're excited for the next bull run, for the fees to, or for the federal rate to drop. People will go more risk on. Also, the Bitcoin halving. There's a lot to look forward to. We are basically tied to global liquidity, and global liquidity is increasing. So I feel very strongly that this is just the start of the bull season. You know, when we get this ETF approved, so many people will be paying attention to the price that day and the next day and the next week, and they'll be thinking, should I buy now or buy later and all this stuff. It doesn't really matter because in the long term, this is fantastic for crypto. This is not a sell the news event. Long term, this is actually substantially important for the long term of crypto to be able to be bought up by people that would never buy crypto anyways because they can't self-custody it. They can't actually process that transaction and then go take it off because they can't handle that. They also can't get their financial advisors to do it. So this unlocks a lot of capital. Let me know your thoughts underneath in the comments, though. Let me know what you think about Gary Gensler giving all these protections. Is he really helping us or not? Also, check out those links to Margex and HGAaccess. Again, we're doing some giveaways. We've had major alpha. We called out a 10x crypto the other day. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.